Hi everyone, and welcome back to Listopia Central. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell. It's what fuels our quest for awesome lists here at Listopia Central. Now, before we launch into our countdown of the top 10 video games that define gaming, let's take a quick trip back in time and see where this whole incredible journey began. Way back in the day when computers were the size of refrigerators and filled entire rooms, a tale of two games unfolded. Our story starts in 1958 with a humble match of tennis. Imagine this, not a fancy console you hold in your hands, but a physicist named William Higginbotham creating a game called Tennis for Two. This wasn't your typical playground. As you see here, the game ran on an analog computer, a machine used for scientific stuff. And the display wasn't a flashy screen, but an instrument that usually showed electrical signals called an oscilloscope. Basic, yes, but it offered a side view of a tennis court where you and a friend could use controllers to hit the dot or tennis ball back and forth. While Tennis for Two gets the gold medal for being the first video game, it wasn't exactly something everyone could play. That's where Space War comes in. Developed in 1962 by some clever students at MIT, this game offered a whole new level of excitement, a thrilling space battle. Here's where things got interesting. You and your opponent, piloting spaceships called the Needle and the Wedge, would battle it out on a giant computer called a DEC PDP-1. The coolest part, there was a star in the center of the screen with a gravitational pull constantly trying to yank your spaceship in. Just like real spaceships, you had limited fuel to move around and only a handful of torpedoes to fire at your opponent. Plus, the game followed the laws of science, so you could slingshot around the star for a speed boost if you were clever. But here's the daring part. Players could activate hyperspace, teleporting their ship across the screen in a flash. This could give you the upper hand, but be careful. The more you used it, the higher the chances of your ship exploding. Space Wars wasn't just about the innovative gameplay, though. It witnessed a historic moment. In 1972, the first ever video game tournament was held. This event used a special version of Space War that allowed 5 players to battle it out on a massive computer system. There was even an article written about this groundbreaking competition later that year. So while neither Tennis for Two nor Space War were played on the consoles we know today, they were groundbreaking games that paved the way for the future. Tennis for Two gets the gold medal for being the first video game, while Space War gets major props for sparking a wider interest in video games, inspiring future developers, and even hosting the first ever esports competition. Pretty cool, huh? But enough history, let's get to the good stuff. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. It's what keeps the pixels pumping and the controllers charged around here. Now buckle up, gamers, because our countdown of the top 10 video games that define gaming forever is about to begin. At number 10, we have Mindcraft. Developed in 2011, a revolutionary game emerged from the world of PC gaming. Minecraft was designed by Swedish studio Mojang Studios, and it wasn't just a game. It was a boundless digital universe waiting to be explored, shaped, and conquered. Minecraft dropped players into a world built entirely from blocky terrain where the only limit was their imagination. By gathering resources like wood, stone, and iron, players could craft a dizzying array of tools, weapons, and even elaborate structures. Whether it was building a cozy underground base to survive the night, constructing a towering monument to their ingenuity, or collaborating with friends on epic creations, Minecraft offered endless possibilities. Its simple yet engaging gameplay loop, combined with its charming lo-fi visuals, fostered a sense of wonder and limitless creativity. Minecraft didn't just define gaming, it redefined the concept of player agency, popularizing the sandbox genre and inspiring a generation of gamers to become not just players, but architects, engineers, and storytellers within a virtual world. At number 9, we have World of Warcraft. The year was 2004, and Blizzard Entertainment unleashed a game that would forever reshape the online gaming landscape. World of Warcraft wasn't just an MMORPG, or better known as massively multiplayer online role-playing game. It was a persistent world, a digital realm brimming with life, adventure, and the potential for countless friendships. World of Warcraft dropped players into the vibrant fantasy realm of Azeroth, a world teeming with diverse races like noble humans, cunning orcs, and wise night elves. Players could choose from a variety of character classes, from powerful warriors wielding mighty weapons to cunning mages wielding arcane magic. This wasn't just about choosing a character, it was about forging your own destiny within a vast world. World of Warcraft wasn't a solitary experience. Players banded together to form guilds, forging friendships and rivalries as they tackled challenging dungeons teeming with ferocious enemies. Together they coordinated intricate strategies to conquer monstrous bosses, their triumphs celebrated with cheers that echoed across the digital landscape. Beyond thrilling combat, Azeroth offered a world rich with lore, with captivating quests that unveiled its secrets and fueled sense of wonder. World of Warcraft's innovative social features like guilds and open-world communication, along with its addictive gameplay loop of exploration, combat, and character progression, fueled a cultural phenomenon. It popularized massively multiplayer online role-playing game, establishing Blizzard as a dominant force in the online gaming space and leaving an indelible mark on the gaming world for years to come. At number 8, we have Grand Theft Auto 3. In 2001, Rockstar Games shattered the mold of video games with Grand Theft Auto 3. This wasn't just an open-world crime game. It was a digital metropolis pulsating with danger, opportunity, and a level of freedom that had never been experienced before. Grand Theft Auto 3 dropped players into the gritty underbelly of Liberty City, a sprawling urban jungle inspired by New York City. Here, players assumed the role of Claude, a silent protagonist thrust into the criminal underworld. The world was your oyster, or more accurately, your stolen car. Jack vehicles, complete missions for various criminal kingpins, engage in illicit activities, or simply wreak havoc. The detailed city environment, teeming with life and bustling with activity, offered an unparalleled sense of immersion. Grand Theft Auto 3 wasn't afraid to push boundaries. The inclusion of adult themes, violence, and criminal activities sparked controversy, but it also resonated with a mature audience. This, coupled with the sheer freedom of exploration and the addictive open-world gameplay loop, propelled Grand Theft Auto 3 to superstardom. It popularized the open-world sandbox genre, inspiring countless imitators and spawning a massive franchise that continues to dominate the gaming landscape to this day. At number 7, we have Donkey Kong, a founding father of platformers released in 1981 for arcades by Nintendo. It wasn't just the first starring role for the iconic ape, it was a game that laid the groundwork for the entire platformer genre. Originally conceived as Popeye the Sailor Man game, believe it or not, licensing issues led to a last-minute scramble where Nintendo designer Shigeru Miyamoto replaced Popeye with Jumpman, later known as Mario, and created a damsel in distress named Pauline, captured by a disgruntled ape, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is a defining game because it established the core mechanics of the genre. Players control Jumpman, guiding him across a series of platforms, jumping over obstacles and avoiding hazards like barrels thrown by Donkey Kong. This simple yet addictive formula became the foundation for countless future platformers. Introduced iconic characters, Donkey Kong himself became a major video game character, spawning numerous sequels and spin-offs. Mario, initially just Jumpman, rose to even greater fame, becoming the mascot for Nintendo. Donkey Kong's success proved the popularity of climbing and jumping mechanics. It also demonstrated the power of compelling narrative, rescuing the princess, to drive player engagement. Global phenomenon. Donkey Kong was a massive hit in arcades worldwide, revitalizing Nintendo and helping to establish video games as a mainstream form of entertainment. Donkey Kong may seem simple by today's standards, but its influence on video games is undeniable. It launched two iconic characters, established a beloved genre, and helped solidify video games as a cultural force. At number 6, we have Final Fantasy VII. In 1997, a game arrived that would forever alter the perception of console RPGs, or better known as role-playing games. Played with PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII, a masterpiece crafted by Squarefoot, now Square Enix. This wasn't just another JRPG, Japanese RPG. It was a cinematic epic that redefined storytelling, graphics, and character development within the genre. Final Fantasy VII thrust players into a vibrant futuristic world on the brink of environmental collapse. Here you took control of Cloud Strife, a gruff mercenary with a mysterious past, and a motley crew of unforgettable characters. The narrative unfolded through a complex web of plot twists, political intrigue, and emotional moments, all delivered through stunning, pre-rendered cutscenes that rivaled movies of the era. These cutscenes, combined with the game's lush pre-rendered backgrounds and expressive character models, pushed the graphical boundaries of console RPGs. Final Fantasy VII wasn't just about aesthetics, though. The game offered a deep and engaging combat system, allowing players strategically to unleash powerful attacks and magic spells. Character development went beyond simple stat increases as players delved into the backstories and motivations of their companions, forging a deep emotional connection with them. Final Fantasy VII's groundbreaking storytelling, stunning visuals, and captivating characters not only set a new standard for JRPGs, but also popularized the genre in the Western world, leaving an undeniable mark on gaming history. At number 5, we have Doom. In 1993, a game arrived that would forever change the face of first-person shooters known as FPS. Doom, a revolutionary title from ID Software, wasn't just another FPS. It was a gratifying thrill ride that redefined the genre with its breakneck speed, immersive 3D environments, and gloriously over-the-top violence. Doom dropped players onto the desolate moons of Mars, thrusting them into a desperate fight for survival against hordes of demonic invaders. Gone were the days of flat 2D sprites. Doom embraced cutting-edge 3D graphics technology, creating a truly immersive world for players to navigate. The dark Gothic environments pulsated with an oppressive atmosphere, while the detailed enemy designs added a layer of grotesque terror. The gameplay was pure, unadulterated action. Players wielded an arsenal of powerful weaponry, from shotguns that blasted demons into gibs to chainsaws that ripped through them with brutal efficiency. Doom's frenetic pace, coupled with its intense violence, created a thrilling experience that kept players hooked for hours on end. The impact of Doom was undeniable. It popularized the FPS genre on PCs, inspiring countless imitators and establishing ID Software as a gaming powerhouse. Its influence can be felt in countless shooters that followed, from the fast-paced action of Quake to the narrative depth of Half-Life. Doom wasn't just a game, it was a revolution, forever etching its mark on the history of video games. At number 4, we have Pac-Man. In 1980, a cultural phenomenon emerged from the maze of pixels. Pac-Man. This wasn't just a maze chase game. It was a global obsession that captured the hearts of millions with its endearingly simple design and addictive gameplay loop. Pac-Man dropped players, or rather a hungry circle named Pac-Man, into a vibrant maze filled with delectable dots. The goal? Gobble up as many dots as possible while avoiding the colorful ghosts Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde, hot on your tail. Power pellets scattered throughout the maze offered a temporary reprieve, turning the tables and allowing Pac-Man to chase after the ghosts, instead gobbling them up for bonus points. Pac-Man's charm was undeniable. Its simple yet ingenious design, with its bright colors, catchy sound effects, and iconic characters, resonated with players of all ages and skill levels. The core gameplay loop of navigating the maze, strategically munching dots, and avoiding the ghosts was easy to grasp but offered surprisingly depth, with high-score chasing and mastery of maze patterns fueling endless competition. Pac-Man wasn't just a game in arcades, it became a cultural icon, appearing on everything from lunchboxes to cartoons. It popularized maze games and left an undeniable mark on gaming history, proving that simple concepts can have a massive impact. At number 3, we have Tetris. In 1984, a game emerged from the world of Cold War-era computers that would become a global phenomenon. Tetris wasn't just a simple puzzle game. It was a captivating experience that transcended cultural barriers and addictive gameplay that hooked players for generations. Tetris dropped players into a seemingly endless well where geometric shapes known as tetraminos descended from above. The goal? Rotate and maneuver these shapes to form complete horizontal lines, which would then disappear and clear space for more tetraminos. Despite its deceptively simple premise, Tetris offered surprisingly depth. As the game progressed, the speed of the falling tetraminos increased, demanding quick thinking and strategic placement. Players had to think ahead, planning how to fit various shapes together to maximize line clears. The challenge was ever-present, yet the satisfaction of clearing multiple lines with a single tetramino placement was immensely rewarding. This engaging gameplay loop, coupled with the game's accessible controls and clear objective, made Tetris a game anyone could pick up and play regardless of age or experience. Tetris wasn't just confined to a single platform. It spread like wildfire, appearing in everything from arcade cabinets and home computers to handheld consoles and even mobile phones. Its universal appeal and endless replayability solidified the puzzle genre, proving that a simple concept with well-crafted gameplay could achieve global success. Tetris transcended gaming, becoming a cultural touchstone, inspiring countless imitators and leaving an undeniable mark on the history of entertainment. Tetris wasn't just a game, it was a global phenomenon that captured the imagination of a generation. At number 2, we have Super Mario Bros. In 1985, a legend was born. Super Mario Bros. Wasn't just another side-scrolling platformer. It was a vibrant, revolutionary experience that redefined the genre and catapulted Nintendo to the forefront of the gaming industry. This wasn't just a game about saving a princess, though that was certainly part of the charm. It was an odyssey through fantastical worlds brimming with color, secret warp pipes, and hidden treasures. Players took control of Mario, a nimble plumber with a penchant for jumping on Goombas and collecting coins. The core gameplay loop was deceptively simple. Run, jump, and stomp your way through levels, avoiding enemies and collecting as many coins as possible. However, beneath this accessible surface lay a surprising depth. Mastering the art of precise jumps, uncovering hidden warp zones that led to shortcut adventures, and strategically using power-ups like fire flowers or invincibility stars added layers of complexity that kept players engaged for hours. Super Mario Bros. Defined gaming in a profound way. It established the core mechanics that would define the platformer genre for decades to come. Precise controls, imaginative level design that rewarded exploration and focus on both challenge and accessibility. It also introduced iconic characters that transcended the game itself. Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Bowser became instantly recognizable figures, not just within the game, but in popular culture as a whole. Super Mario Bros. Wasn't just a game, it was a cultural phenomenon. Its catchy music, memorable characters, and addictive gameplay resonated with millions, solidifying Nintendo's dominance in the industry and inspiring countless imitators. It was a cornerstone of gaming history, establishing core mechanics, introducing iconic characters, and leaving an undeniable mark on the ever-evolving world of video games. Finally, at number 1, we have Pong, the OG of video games. In 1972, a digital duel emerged from the world of electronics and into buzzing arcades. Pong, Atari's brainchild, wasn't a game for the living room, but a phenomenon born in large cabinets with simple displays. Players stood before the screen, paddles or buttons in hand, ready to engage in a digital version of table tennis. The beauty of Pong lay in its simplicity. 2 players or a lone warrior against the machine used their paddles to bat a ball back and forth across the screen. The goal? Prevent the bouncing dot from sneaking past your defenses. This basic concept, though seemingly elementary today, proved incredibly addictive, fueling hours of competitive spirit. Pong's impact on the world of gaming is undeniable. It wasn't just a game, it was a pioneer. It demonstrated the vast potential of video games as a form of interactive entertainment, a quality that had yet to be fully explored. The easy-to-understand gameplay made Pong accessible to a wide audience, regardless of age or gaming experience. This inclusivity, coupled with its addictive nature, turned Pong into a social magnet. Arcades became bustling hubs where Pong's simple elegance sparked friendly rivalries and countless hours of competition. But Pong's influence goes beyond its own pixels. Its success ignited a fire in game developers, inspiring a wave of innovation that led to more complex and diverse video games. Without Pong, the gaming landscape we know today might have looked entirely different. Though Pong may seem like a relic compared to today's sophisticated titles, it holds a significant place in gaming history. It showed the world the potential of video games and laid the foundation for the multi-billion-dollar industry we enjoy today. Well, that's our list of the top 10 games that define gaming. From humble beginnings with Pong to the sprawling open worlds of today, these titles have all left their mark on the industry. But what about you? Which of these classics brings back the most memories? Was it the epic battles of Space War or the frantic competition of Pong? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as we're constantly churning out on new top 10 lists on everything from video games and more. So stick around and join our community of list lovers.